I'm really excited about the 5th edition of Statistics and Probability with Applications. For one thing, we've upgraded the end of lesson feature to be called Your Turn. And in each of the Your Turns, the students get an opportunity to demonstrate how they've mastered each of the learning targets in that lesson. What's nice about that is you can use it as an exit ticket for students at the end of class to be sure they're ready to do homework. You could also assign them after having students read the section to see if they've gotten the basic concepts and skills that they need to be successful in the lesson. A second thing that I'm very excited about are some new chapter projects at the end of several chapters. At the end of chapter 1, we have one about the American Community Survey, a large data set that students can analyze based on what they've learned in that particular chapter. But then we revisit that same data set again later in the book so that students can do inferential procedures on it. It's a large data set with about 3,000 individuals and many, many different variables for them to analyze. So that's something they might not do on an ordinary day. Another project focuses on water quality and dissolved oxygen. So students who are interested in environmental science or maybe taking an environmental science class would be able to use what they've learned to do some regression analysis on that. We're also very excited that students can learn about career opportunities at the end of each chapter in a feature we call See Yourself in Stats. So it shows them cool professions that they can do with statistics, from, being a pollster, which is a pretty challenging profession, to things like game design, all the way to using it in business and medicine. So seeing those career paths is something we really want students to be thinking about when they're taking stats, so they think about, like, why am I going to use this later? We're also very excited about the supporting resources that have been developed for teachers and students for this edition. Great annotated teachers edition from Doug Tyson. It's got all of the things teachers need right where they need it, sort of a just-in-time approach to a teacher's edition. And then for the student-facing resources, lots of good video support, as well as nice applets from the Staplet website that will help them build conceptual understanding and also investigate things dynamically. We use those in support of visualization, trying to help visualize difficult concepts, but it's also a supplement to what they would do on their graphing calculators. We're also excited about the digital platform Achieve that's new to this edition. It's really got a lot of bells and whistles. So things for students as well as teachers, makes it a lot easier to sort of organize and plan the instruction, whether you include some of the additional examples that Doug's created, whether you build in some of the online homework that's available in Achieve that gives really specific feedback to students, which I think as teachers we don't always have time to give if they're doing paper and pencil homework from the book. It's a really nice feature. The new BFW test bank makes it a lot easier to design your quizzes and tests, whether you're on a Mac or a PC, doesn't matter. Everything's key to the learning targets, so it's easy for you to take one of our template quizzes or tests and swap out one or two items and easily make different versions for different sections, or makeup tests if you need makeup tests. Most of all, we're excited to be able to update the contexts to be current and relevant and engaging to students in the 21st century. Things that have changed over the past few years since we wrote the last edition, we were able to kind of bring in world events, and that way your students know that you're dealing with data that's recent and important in their lives and something that they can relate to in their communities.